Good morning. I'm the Reverend Julianne Lepp, and it is a pleasure to be with you for our Sunday morning meditation. This morning we are going to talk about the element of water. When you think about water, you think about the ability to flow, to move, to be present to nature. And I'm wondering if you can find in yourself that quality of water, to bend and to move, to feel the peace of nature all around us, and settle into this space, this time of quiet and meditation that is available to you at all times if you're ready to take it. We will be gathering on most Sundays to do a Sunday morning meditation, just a brief time to center ourselves, to find quietude in the morning. And I will join you either from my office here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation or other fun spots in the building as we seek to connect with each other, either in person or through these means such as Facebook. At 10 a.m. we'll be having our in-person service streaming for the first time from our sanctuary. We look forward to that. And you can join us either in person at 10 a.m. or here on Facebook or on Zoom. Let's center ourselves, finding that space of quiet and beauty, that ability to feel centered. Perhaps you have walked along the Chippewa or the Half Moon Lake at Carson Park, or maybe Lake Superior or Mother Ocean. I know I love to stand in the ocean, to feel that connection to where I grew up, and to know that water surrounds me and I have that history and connection. The element of water is an element that gives us that sense of being connected to all things. There is, of course, water that makes up most of our body. Our world is a blue-green planet, and we have rain and the ocean and water all around us. So I invite you now to center in, taking a deep breath, coming into this moment. I'm going to sing this song as we center into this space. And it's I am one of the elements. 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 Today we focus on the element of water. Today is our annual gathering of the waters where people bring water from their staycations and vacations, and we connect to the stories of our water. All of us have memories, maybe playing in the hose growing up, jumping over sprinklers, jumping into mud puddles. What are your memories of water? And how does that water hold you? I invite you into this time of quiet and relaxation for a period of time. Join me now. Breathing in. Take a deeper breath. Release that breath. Letting go of the things that no longer serve you. Breathing in one more time. Releasing those things that you need to let go. And gently open your eyes as we connect with that spirit of water today. Perhaps you can think of the water that has held you and supported you, and think about how you can embody that in your life. I know for myself, I grew up going to a camp every summer and learning how to swim in this little pond. We thought it was a lake, but it was more like a glorified pond. And just jumping in the cold water at 6 a.m. and waking up, and those rituals of summertime and that time spent in sun and listening to the frogs, and that peace, that being held in the floating, serene water is something that I can take my mind back to when I'm stressed or feel the need for peace and support. I also like to think of the ocean. I grew up in South Carolina, and we had a lot of time spent by the ocean, especially when I was younger, and watching a storm come up on the shoreline and the power of that storm, watching the waves gain strength, carrying the shells to the shore that would be gifts the next morning, and taking away some of the sand. And just the power of water, too. If we think about the element of water, it changes the mighty Mississippi, the Grand Canyon. What powerful things can water move for you or change for you? When we think about elements, you think about water, earth, air, and fire. And these can be grounding points for our meditations. So perhaps this week you can think about how water is in your life, how you feel the power of what is water doing for you. I am one of the elements. I am one of the elements. That's a song that I learned by campfires, and remembering that we too are connected to nature and water, made of star stuff and sunshine and Mother Earth and to each other. We connect with water when we shed tears. We connect with water in our showers, our jumping in mud puddles and trying to run from our car to the supermarket, feeling the rain. When I think of what I can learn from water, you see these t-shirts, I learn, what can you learn from a forest? What can you learn from water? I think what I learned from water is that no matter what comes into me, I will come back to myself. Because you think about the ripples of water, and when something splashes into the water, it ripples out and it changes the water, but the water comes back to its container, right? It reforms. And so that resilience, that ability to come back and to accept what comes, but not necessarily accept the outcome. I have power to make that my own. What are your lessons from water? I invite you to think about the stories of your water too. What are some of your memories of past times? What are your hopes for the future as we navigate this difficult time of the resurgence of COVID in some places? Hopefully we're all doing what we can, but we need those connections with nature to support us. And when we think about being part and one with the elements, maybe you can think of this song, I am one of the elements. I am one of the elements. We're not separate from nature. We're a part of nature. Our seventh principle is the interdependent web of which we are a part, respecting that. And thinking of respecting the earth means also respecting ourselves, respecting our planet and each other. Friends, I wish you the resilience of water, the breath that comes, releasing those shoulders and centering down into a space that holds you. Take courage, friends, for you are not alone. This community and these people, the Unitarian Universalist congregation, and hopefully the wider community, are here to hold you. Go in peace, and namaste.